Corner. Bill, tell your teammates 5 passes make a goal, remember?
5 passes, you don't know loads have to shoot.
You okay, Cheska? Benji, get back a bit. Well done, Tommy. Fantastic scanning, Al. Albie, well done for checking there. I saw that. Brilliant. That's off. Josh, try and be a little bit louder. Great vision. Minute and a half. Yeah, that was 5, Bailey, 2-1. Minute to go. Last minute, 2-1 to the Reds. Remember to check as you're running, Al. Good positioning, Bill. Just come in. Well done. Did well there. Well done, Bill. You played. Oh, what's that? Ooh. Right. Okay, so you've had an hour and a half. Okay.
Oh, so we've got another half an hour. Jesus. We've got half an hour? No.
You can carry on playing for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to speak to the coaches and then we're going to wrap up. Oh, these coaches. Oh. Yeah? So we're only going to do another 10 minutes. The score is 2-1 to the red team.
Can we mix some in? No.
You just got to work harder, Tom.
Yeah.
Your team aren't doing it.
We scored! I thought you missed then.
It's the only time Cameron will score, and it can. Right, 10 more minutes. You can manage it yourselves. Okay, coaches, if you want to come round. Okay, so all I'd like you to do is in your groups or pairs, just discuss things that you've seen, things that you found useful, things that you're a bit unsure of and would like a further explanation on. Okay, so just in the pairs, person next to you, just have a chat about that for me, please. Okay, fellas, if we come this way a little bit, just in case there's some wayward shots. So, who would like to kick us off? So you didn't find anything useful?
I'd say the taking a knee was good, getting them to stop, see where they are.
We were saying that. I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it just gives them a quick snapshot where you can go, are we covering or are we utilising space as well as we should? And then they can get up and play quite quickly. It has to be consistent, so use it quite a lot and then they start to get used to it. Even after this evening, you could see as soon as the whistle went, they were quite good at dropping to the knee quite quickly. Yeah? Okay, anything else?
We was just talking, we said that obviously the ball's good to obviously set out the boys' expectations of what good looks like.
Yeah. So when you've got a topic, it's always good to go, right, what do we want to get better at? So if you speak to your players and say, where do we need to improve? You'll have something in mind. They might have something different. If you want their motivation levels to be high, do stuff that they think they should work on. It might not be that that's going to make you a better team, but it might mean that the relationship with your players is a lot stronger and everyone has a better time and you don't end up beating your head against a pole. Okay? So then say to them, all right, well, what's the success criteria for that? So if it was counter-attacking, you would just come up with, what don't we want to see? Well, slow passes going square rather than forward, not transitioning quickly, no options in front of the ball. Okay, then that becomes your success criteria for the session. That's what you hold them to account for. You said to me, on transition you would do this, this and this. Why are you not doing it? So slowly they'll start to go, okay, yeah, I'll need to put more effort into that bit. Did you see when I pulled them into the units and I asked them to discuss in their units what they could do better? That's where you could start individualising it for people and going, well, what's your role in the counter-attack? So if you think about Bailey and Billy playing at the back here, when you win it, can you dribble drive or can you pass forward? So it's a tight pitch, so it's probably best to dribble drive or pass out wide than it is to run into a crowd. They can take ownership of that rather than you have to do it.
They picked up on the scanning as well, didn't they? You were saying about the scanning, they all telling each other do it as well.
Yeah.
Which was,
So they'll start it and it's just building momentum around that. It's different because I come in, I've got an FA badge on and I'm a different voice. So they will start responding to me a little bit differently. So they might put more effort in, but that might dissipate over time if I'm not consistent and relentless with what's the standard, why are we not playing to the standard, what can we do better, and constantly be asking them. Any other points? Why did I ask them to give me a time limit for what they could work at intensity-wise?
Is it a challenge to them to do that? To actually, if you're going to say 2 minutes,
Yeah.
work for 2 minutes, eh?
Yeah.
That sort of.
So we're trying to incrementally increase that over time. So if you can give me full intensity for a minute, hopefully in 6 weeks it'll be a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So we slowly build up how much they can, because they don't focus very well, and that's because they're teenage boys and their brains are all over the place. So if we can start trying to get them to focus on, give me your highest intensity with the quality, then it gives them a focus. Additionally, you might go, if you train for an hour, hour and a half, you might go, is it better to have 50 minutes of decent stuff rather than an hour and a half of mediocre stuff? Because you'd probably be happier going home, they'd probably be happier, and they'd go, well, actually, I got something out of that. When they're just drib-drabbing around and they're not putting effort in, you have to go, well, what's the point? Can we train like we play or we would like to play? Any observations, any things that you looked at and you thought, not 100% sure with that? What was that all about? I won't be offended. It's. I'm not going to go home and weep.
I'd say for us, not so much didn't understand, but with the passing where you started to open out, types of passing, we got the 14s. So for us, we were saying much as they could do with it, in themselves they find it too basic. It's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, but they think they're better than what they are.
Yeah.
So we'd probably struggle to keep their attention span with that.
So if you go back to the success criteria, you pull them back to that. If you think you're good, show me. And if you're going, right, well actually I've got my phone or I've got my iPad and I'm just going to film a bit, come and have a look. This is what I see. And they go, oh yeah, we are rubbish, aren't we? We have kicked it at someone who's who's getting in the way. We have kicked it straight off the pitch. The weight and accuracy ain't good. I've underhit it. And then you just go, is that successful, chaps? Or is that unsuccessful? And they can't really argue with it because they've agreed the criteria for what success looks like. So if it's accurate weight and pass, if it's, say you were working on creativity for the passing, and the pass type is always 10 yards, 10 yards. Well, that's not creative, chaps. Anyone can do that. That's an expectation. Who can do a clip? Who can curl it? Who can outside of the boot it? Who can drive it with the laces? And just start to just pull them back to what can you realistically do. But I don't know your players, so it is a challenge until you know people's players to give accurate, this is what they could try. At that age, they're more interested in what their mate's opinion is, and that's why if you go, well, all right, Duncan's going to watch me, I'm going to watch Duncan, Duncan's going to rank me. So if my pass type, I say to Duncan, I'm just going to work on a 40-yard pass. And every time I do it, it goes off the pitch or goes the wrong. Duncan's my mate, he goes, I'm not being funny, out of 10, you're a 3 for accuracy and weight, you keep kicking it on. So as long as it's someone they trust, they're more likely to listen to them.
Because do that at times anyway, don't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because at times they won't listen to an adult because they're now going, what do you know? You know, it's different to when they were the younger kids and they wanted to listen to you.
30, 14, that's in them to say that, I want a better pass off you.
Yeah.
That's in this age group now, isn't it? That's starting coming.
Yeah. And that's why the first thing should always be, who wants to be the best that they can be? I'd be very surprised. Tommy might do it for a joke, but I'd be very surprised if any of them didn't put their hand up and say, I want to be the best that I can be. Once they say that, you've got them because you go, well, what does that take? So the small thing around, if we agree we're going to jog in, jog out, just hold them to account. Hey, we said when the whistle goes, we're going to jog in, jog out. Why? One, it helps us get fit. One, it helps us have a bit of information and get out playing quicker than ambling in and pulling each other and trying to nutmeg each other and all that nonsense. So it's just behaviour management strategies to try and get them back on task and get them back out playing. Any other observations? Thanks for that. Because I appreciate people going, well, this didn't resonate with me. Because there will be bits that you go, I don't know if I could do that. My coaching style is very that. You're not going to see me do lots of stop, stand stills, this is a picture, unless I really think it's necessary. Any other observations before we pull them in? So all I would say to you is there anything that you're going to take from this evening and put into action? Because what's the point of coming to watch me do a coaching session, get your feet wet and cold, and then, oh yeah, that was nice, had a chat with me mate, went home. So it's just think, if there's anything there that you found useful, commit to putting it into action, have a go at it. If it doesn't work for you first time, you have to work out, well, is it down to me in my delivery? Is it something I could do differently? Am I expecting things too quickly? Because to turn anything around takes time. And some of them, they're quite lively, aren't they? They're quite a lively bunch.
Yeah,
but good-natured, and they want to try hard and they want to work quite hard, which is nice. It's just trying to keep them focused. But that's just part of their teenage brain.
Just keep it not dull for them and keep them thinking about what they want to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, once they lose their concentration, you lose the session.
Yeah.
You have to bring it back in, like you said, and then start saying again.
And that's why I tried to keep the ball rolling quite high. At times, the first bit took a while to get going, just simply because of their commitment to want to do it properly. But that's just them probably a bit unsure about, well, what's this bozo from the FA doing? and it's just about trying to win them over a little bit in relation to that. So I videoed the session and what I've said, so when I was in there just having quiet conversations with them, you wouldn't have picked up any of that. So I'll share this with Duncan, and then Duncan, you just share it with the wider group. I mean, I imagine it's not a safeguarding thing. They're all okay. What will happen from my end is I'll delete it. So I won't keep a copy. So it will just be yours within your club to share. And if you want to share it with the players, then, you know, by all means do.